Alright, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to connect the serial TTL cable to your Launchpad. Now if you take a look at the jumper block at the top of the Launchpad, you'll notice these receive and transmit jumpers to the far left. You'll want to remove both of them. Alright, now with the first two removed, you want to grab your serial TTL cable. And for this, we'll only be using the black, green, and white wires. The green transmit wire will need to go at the pin on the upper left of the block. The white one will go at the bottom right of the exposed pins. And then finally the black ground wire will need to connect to the ground pin there at the top of the second jumper block. And then you're all set. You'll need to connect the USB end into your machine. Now that you have the serial TTL cable correctly connected to your Launchpad, we'll go ahead and test out its functionality with a piece of code. Go ahead and open up your favorite text editor. I'll be using Sublime Text. Create a new file called hworld.c. And in this file we'll need to first include the MSP 430 header as well as the pieces of the libembed library that we'll be using. So that's the serial header and the console IO header as well. Go ahead and open up your main function here. And the first thing we'll need to do is hold the watchdog timer so that the board does not reset on us, as well as calibrate the board to run at 1 megahertz. And if you don't know what these things do, it's not really a important thing to know right now. The first function we'll run here is a serial init from the libembed library to tell the board that we want to communicate at 9600 baud, and then using the CIO print method, we'll simply echo out everybody's favorite first string. Notice here you'll need to echo both a carriage return as well as a new line. That's just the way serial communication will work, either in screen or Minicom. Alright, so once you have that all written, go ahead and save it. I've saved mine to this tutorials directory, so there it is right there. We can go ahead and cat to make sure it's the correct contents. From here we'll just be running the MSP 430 GCC tool. Make sure to specify your architecture. The output file will be hworld.elf, and then you just provide the input file, hworld.c. If you run this, you'll notice you'll get undefined references to these functions. The reason for that is that you need to link both of those libraries in your compilation string. So we'll go ahead and link serial and the console IO, and then it will build with no problem. Go ahead and list the directory again. You'll see there's an hworld.elf, and from here we'll use MSP debug, specify your communication type, and tell it to program hworld.elf to the board. Okay, now that your program's on the board and is running, you can use screen or minicom, as I mentioned earlier, to communicate with it. In this case, I'll just be using screen since it's a lot simpler to use. Go ahead and specify the device you'd like to listen on. In your case, if you're on Linux, it should be TTY USB 0. Otherwise, if you're on a Mac, there will be something called tty.nozap. That's just the device name of the serial TTL cable. And then after your device specified, go ahead and enter the baud rate, which is 9600, and hit enter. Now if you don't see anything, that's normal. Your board probably ran the program and then finished, but just hit the reset button on the board and you should see the string pop up on your screen. Now keep in mind, this string is actually being sent from the Launchpad, from the MSP430, from that board, communicating through the USB serial TTL cable to your machine. And your machine is simply just listening to the communication happening on the USB port. So typing or doing anything else will not have any effect. But there you are.